Hi guys, how are you doing? Hope you are all well and safe. Today I'm continuing my look at Realistic Paint Studio and I'm looking at the drawing tools. This is the sketch I produced using some of the pencils in the app. There's lots of drawing tools. Some of them are disabled in the trial version, but there's still a lot to play around with. This is the second of 3 videos, by the way. I've already done the look at the oil painting, so there's a link in the description below if you want to check that video out. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, today I am going to look at the drawing tools in Realistic Paint, and I'm going to save the watercolor one till last because that's the one I'm most excited about. And what am I going to draw? Well, I'm going to do the same picture as last time. I kind of like sketchbooks, but these don't give me an option of a sketchbook, so I guess I'm going to go with this option. Can we change the color? Oh, we can. That's interesting. What background should I use? That looks interesting. Let's go with that one. I like the file name. Fabulous picture. Let's do this. Let's click on that. I've got no idea what we're going to get because I haven't tried this option before. So, coloured pencils. Nice. Didn't really kind of have an idea of doing coloured pencils. I just want to cut in here that initially I thought I would be doing a pen and ink drawing here because we've got some tools across the top that we can select. These are cutting tools for help you cutting objects out and moving them and resizing them. So I did say in the first video, I may have said later on in this one, that you can't move things around. In actual fact, you can use these tools, and I will show you how to use these in the third video of the series. This is 2 of 3. Link for the first one below. So moving along, we've got the brushes. Then we've got these drawing tools, and what I wanted to do was hoping to use a pen tool, but if I click on this, it tells me I've got to buy it, and I believe these are extras. Even if I know this is a trial version, but if I buy the version for $19, I've got a feeling these aren't included, and you have to spend the $24 to get these included, so I can't use the pen and ink brushes. And there's it goes back to the tools for cutting and pasting and what have you there. So that's a real shame that I can't use those. Anyway, let's get back to the coloured pencils, and I'll pick up where I left off. So your pencil here matches the colour that you've selected. What happens if we change this? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Let's just quickly go through them and see what we get. So if I choose a ballpoint pen, okay, that could be interesting. And we've got a blue, red, and green. No additional palettes, but I guess I can choose any colour I want. So, can I change the thickness of this thing? I can to a certain extent. That's the thinnest line, thickest line. Okay, ballpoint pen. This is the mechanical pencil. I keep forgetting, I just have to click on OK. That's quite nice. Quite a thick line as well. Down to the thinnest, which you can barely discernible. So it's what you'd expect, really. I don't know what the difference between these two is. Is this supposed to be white? I'd have thought that was white. That's nice, so you can ink in with white pen. Okay, that's fairly straightforward. Then we've got the coloured pencils we just looked at. This will be, I don't know, just oh. So if I hold my stylus vertical, I get a thin line, tilt it, not too much. You can get a shade. Of varying thicknesses depending how much you tilt it. You can't tilt it as much as you would a regular pencil, but I guess that's the design of the stylus. And we've got, so I'm using, that was the HB. I like soft pencils. I might just do a pencil drawing, you know, that could be quite nice. Just to show you how I've got the pen pressure set, I really like a very sensitive stylus, and when you first open up realistic paint, this is more like the pressure you get, and the more pressure you put on, the thicker the line. But I guess I'd probably got it set too sensitive, because if I put it in the middle, I can get much more varying levels of sensitivity for shading. That's probably better actually than what I got it set at for the oil paint. The oil paint's kind of different though. Okay, so that's the pencils, and then you got the 2H, which is the odd one. They're nice. Moving on then. So if that's just like a regular pencil, I don't know what this is. It doesn't tell you anywhere, unless you can read this tiny writing on the side of the pencil. Well, there's no tilt on this pencil, so it's just for drawing straight lines. I don't know how it differs. How thick can you get it? I don't know how that differs from a mechanical pencil, to be honest. You can get almost jet black to very faint. Okay, let's just clear the layer. And trying to read it, I've got no idea what it says. Thin line, another tilting, pencil, and you can draw. I like this one. I like this one the best actually. I'm going to add this by clicking the star and add that to my, oh, it's already in there. I've already got it in there. That's cool. That's the one that I've got selected. So I've already been through that and decided that that was the one that I liked. That's good to know. I picked the same one. And then we've got a couple of erasers, blending stump. Oh, let's just do the marker pen first. Let's go in order. Marker pen. Oh, it smudges the ink. That's nice. That's clever. Let's go with a light colour. And we can blend inks there too. That's nice. Got some colours down here, and if I use the arrow keys I can check more colours. Okay. So we can shade in with this graphite stick. I think verticals. Nice shading. Does it blend? Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Nice for blending then. Okay. Right. Nice graphite then. Blending stuff. Let's have a quick look at this. Just blend a little bit of that away. That's quite reasonable. Oops. Blend in. We've got this eraser here. Thought that was quite a nice eraser. That's in the box as well. I've got this hard eraser. I guess this is going to go straight through it. Yeah. So we've got. Let's look at this Paint Studio. Okay. I do like the way those colours just sort of blend in. It's like an highlighter, isn't it, really, I guess? Yeah, I'd call that an highlighter. Probably won't be using that for what I want to do. This looks interesting because this looks like a box of pastels. I've got to clear this. Got to clear the screen for this one. That's quite nice. So heavy pressure. The only thing is you've just got this rectangle shape. There's not a lot of variety with it, so it's nice. It's a nice pastel brush, but you've just got that one shape. Might be interesting to use. I'd like to see more pastels than that though. But we've got this one. What's this one? Hard pastel. Okay. That doesn't. I don't know. That doesn't feel like so much pastel. They're okay, but they look a bit mechanical. They don't look very organic. So that's the pastels. That's it then. So I can start deciding how I'm going to draw this. So let's clear the layer one more time. Let's get started. Well, I know I'm going to use this pencil, and I'm thinking let's try and do this in a sort of a traditional sort of way. Straight away I fell into the trap. I've got to try and draw a little bit more vertical with the pencil or the stylus. Let's try and rough these in a bit quicker. Well, that's nice and responsive at the minute. I'm quite liking that. I'm moving things over a little bit. I'm doing it slightly different to the last painting, the oil painting. I can see me pretty much doing the whole of this. Not left a lot of room for water, have I? Do I start again? Got it a bit big. I could use the undo, but you know, I'm trying to work with traditional media. Let's get the boat in. Let's be a bit more. Try and get some of the bigger shapes in first, where I want them. That's better. Got it way too big before. There we go. I might use this drawing for the watercolour as well. Save me having to draw it twice. So what I'm going to do, I think, just sort of do a line drawing for everything to begin with. I can then use in the watercolour painting. Or will I? No, I won't be able to do that because I've got to export it with this background, which won't be any good. So I'm going to have to draw it again. So there's that. Limitations of this application. I don't think you can have transparent backgrounds. Unless I could copy the layer, I suppose. I will try that before I do the watercolour painting. I'll just see if you can copy a layer and paste it into a different piece. So that's looking okay so far. What about there? I really enjoyed the last time I did this. Used the same source photo for 3 different pieces. Was the critter testing out the smart papers, and it was really nice to do 3 very different pieces. And I'm kind of hoping I'm going to get the same thing going off here, where I get, you know, use the same source photo but 3 very different results. And I wasn't massively impressed with the oil brushes, to be honest, but I think I'm going to like the drawing tools much more. They feel more organic. They're more responsive. They just feel so much easier. They're not getting in the way. I felt with the oil painting I was struggling a bit, trying to get the result I wanted, because of the way the brushes were responding, and that could be the way that I'd got them set up. I'm using the Cintiq today as a Cintiq, by the way. That was another thing that I discovered, was that this app doesn't like me using the Cintiq like an Intuos Pro, because I'm switching screens. I use the Cintiq as just a touchpad while I'm drawing on my other monitor, and every time I changed a brush or selected a colour, it kept reverting back to the Cintiq monitor. So it was just giving me lots and lots of problems. So I am using it as a Cintiq. So if you want to use like a touchpad working with a screen, you really do need an Intuos Pro for this one. Unless there's something you can set up, but I didn't see anything in the settings. They really are very basic. This is $20 to buy. I'm using the PC version. I'm assuming that the iPad version is very similar to this. Oh, this is way different to the original. The first one I did. But that's what it's all about, isn't it, really? So that's kind of the initial sketch. I guess I can start now putting in all of the detail. I'll put a building in there just to there we go. I quite like that to start with. Let's change the colour. I'm using the softest pencil, by the way, which is what I would be using if I was using pencils. Very rarely do I work with hard pencils. Let's try a bit of shading. It's nice. So I'm not going to go with colour in this one. Oh, I've just upped the brush a little bit. Look at the difference that makes. When I say up the brush, I made it a little bit bigger. Lots of twisting your wrist into weird shapes to get the angle you want on the brush. I don't think there's any way to tilt the screen. So I'm using a combination of blending techniques here. Kind of got that way different. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's that. That's that actually. And then that should come, let's say there like that. Oh, like that. Let's get that eraser out. A little bit of an error there. Bit heavy on the pencil line there. It does feel very intuitive, picking the tools and doing, and I think a lot of that is because of the lack of functions that we actually have. That we have in the program. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to rub that out. So if I make that a bit bigger. A little bit of shading for that tree there, like that. Oh. I suppose these fine lines, I should really use a mechanical pencil, so I'm going to do that because it would be wrong not to try out as many of the pencils as I can and just sort of struggle along with one. I'll make it sort of a bit darker pencil. So we're in lockdown again in the UK. Little bit depressing. Looks like we may be in lockdown for Christmas, which is really depressing. I went to see Charlotte and Killian just before lockdown, or 2 days before lockdown, just so I could see them one last time. Not knowing when we're going to see each other again. Times are hard, man. But luckily enough, you know, I can come in here in my studio, kind of lock the door and forget about everything that's going off in the world. And hopefully it won't be too long. They said initially it was till the 2nd of December, and then before that actually came into place, they said, oh, but we might have to extend it. Really? That's not cool. Now the water, I'm thinking maybe let's try the blending stump on this. And I'm going to mess about with toning this. I'm going to keep that narrowboat lighter, I think. Let's put there. I think this really is a sort of a sketchbook type drawing tool rather than finished pieces. As I pointed out on the oil painting, the exported images aren't that massive. You're going to need something to increase the pixel size of your image if you want to get a decent sized print of anything, fortunately. So something like Zoom Pro, I think it's the one I use, is called. I'm just sort of shading in leaves with the style. I do like brushes that you can sort of pop your stylus on the side and shade with. That's really nice. There we go. Different types of trees. Create different sort of shapes that you can make with your stylus. Put this in. I'm going to sort of put that in shade there and then keep that in light next to the tree. I kind of like that in shade. There we go. So that's the sort of initial tones put in. I think I'm going to swap to a mechanical pencil, do some line work on it now. So let's choose a mechanical pencil. Go with this sort of dark brown. Get a little bit thicker. Just means that I can etch without getting thick lines everywhere. And I can also use a white pen. Oh, that's quite nice. I guess if I set that to white, I can toggle between the two nice and easy. I get that. See why they've done that. I was wondering when I was going through them, why have you got two different pens? When you can just change the color of one. Or does it default back to the oh, so, no, I won't know. I suspect it defaults back. Oh, it does. It defaults back to sort of almost black. Okay, well, I'm going to use that because I quite like it. So I'm using a combination of techniques here. I'm using sort of the side shading in thing, and now I'm going in with hatching. Oh, it's a bit too black, that, to be honest. It's all right there, but I do want to sort of keep that warmness. I might use a bit more black in a little bit. So the hatching lines that I'm doing, following the shapes. So obviously this shed, I'm doing horizontal lines for that. It's not very often I sort of do a drawing and show the old process. The drawing's usually a preliminary stage to what I'm really want to get into. So it's nice to show the old drawing for you. Where the drawing is the important thing. I suppose I could pop the odd vertical in there for a brick. If I zoom in, you might be able to see just sort of like that. Don't forget to stagger them like you would with bricks. Don't put them all in now. That would be a crime. To paint in every brick. That'll do, I think, for that. I think how am I going to do these trees? I can be a bit bigger, can't I? When you zoom in, you do realise how low res it is. Look, you can't sort of go in and put in really fine detail. Don't want to put too many of these in. The way I like to do leaves. Lots of sort of squiggly lines. That's it. There we go. I'm much more feeling this than the oil painting, I have to say. I quite like it as a sketching app. This could be, I'm guessing so far, you know, like I use Tchaikovsky sketches and paper 53 on the iPad. I can definitely see myself using this for doing sketchings on the PC, because I usually use the iPad for sketches, but if I wanted to use a PC, I could really be into this. I kind of got to speed this up a bit because the time's ticking on. I don't want the video to be too long, so let's just sketch in some of the narrowboat details. I don't think I'm going to do a time lapse on this because, like I said earlier, you don't get to see me do sketching very often. It's not something that I share very often, so it is nice just to see the whole process come together. And I am going to put some white in this as well. I think that's important. Did say I was going to use a blending stump, didn't I? I wonder if I should sort of bring that in now. Just try it and see what happens. I'll just do a little bit more of these buildings. Just tighten them up a bit. I'm sort of stepping up the pace just a little bit, just so I can so it doesn't go like for hours and hours and hours. Now I can put in these leaves with my branches, sorry, with my mechanical pencil. So much easier. Sometimes I do try to do too much with one brush. I don't know if that's because I'm lazy. Okay. Sort of looking at the shadows on the photograph. Just adjusted the thickness of the pencil line there slightly. Let's try this stump. It is exciting. So, blending stump. Oh, didn't. There we go. That's it. Oh, I've got 3 different sorts. I didn't try them all before, did I? Oops. Try that one. Basically, what I'm going to do is see if I can just smudge. Let's try this one. What does that do? See, we're just getting this look. Vertical strokes are giving us this. I'm going to add this stump to the collection there. I do like this, that I can sort of have a collection of brushes and things, because I just want to go back into the pencil and just shade in there a bit. Oh, I kind of want this. To put in a little bit of shade in and take my stump and blend that. I don't know if this is going to work. It looks as though it might. Little tricks of the trade. Perhaps mechanical pencil. That'll do, I think. Back to my mechanical pencil. I just remember the colour. Now I can sketch these horizontal lines back in again. Over that blending. And we get this softness for the water. So that's dead easy to do, and it's a real effective way of drawing water on in this case, on a canal. And then I can go in and sketch in my reflections again. Like that. Maybe put a bit of detail just on this narrow boat. So that's kind of almost done, but what I want to do now is use the white. Let's get some whites into this and really make the thing pop. Here we go. So all of these fronts of houses that are buildings that are catching the sun, I can etch those in with the white. Just look how that makes that pop. Maybe a little bit of cross hatching. Definitely here. The window. Bit more on the windows here. Little bit on these trees. Go. Front of this narrowboat. Definitely this building. Little bit of skylight windows. Maybe a touch just here. And here. I want to leave the trees, I think, just in the greys. I don't want to. Got this bit of grass there. Maybe just pop that in where the light's bouncing off that a bit. And maybe that's catching the light. Oh, that's too much. I don't like that. Let's just... That's better. That's better. And then we've got... Oh, this... Do I need to put this greenhouse in? We've got this sort of light coming off on the water. And a little bit here. And possibly a little bit there. I think that's it. That's that. I quite like that. Put a few branches in like that. Maybe just. That's it. Get it signed. I'm signing this one because I like it. I didn't sign the oil painting because I wasn't that fond of it. But I really like that sketch. So there's just one more thing to do. Let's pick a picture to use for my thumbnail. I clicked on the camera. Well, it ain't going to be the pastels one because there's no pastels on that. So these images are different, very different to the ones for the oil painting. The oil ones were presented on a canvas. These are like you're working at a table, sketching and using pastels. I went a bit quick there. There's this camera icon here, and you click on that, and you can have your painting presented this way, this cool way, which I really do actually like. I think they're really nice, and I'm looking for something that I can use as a thumbnail. And I do like, I'm not so keen on that one. I like these at an angle, where it's sort of looking at it across a plane. That's cool. That's the first one again. It's a bit too dark for what I want. I think I'm going to be going for this one that's coming up. No, not that one. Maybe the next one. That one. That's the one I like. So I can export that. So what do I think? The drawing tools feel much nicer to me than the oil paints so far. These are really nice. The organic. You can do the tilt. You've got blending in there. Very limited app, but if you just want to sketch, I've warmed to this so much more. So much more. I'm just going to do one more thing. Then I just want to point a little bit of sky. Than the oil painting. I could definitely see me using this for sketching. And now I'm really excited to try the watercolour because I have no idea what that's going to be like. So just there we are. That's it. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always. It's much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got lots of videos like this, and I would love to be sharing them with you. So hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one. And don't forget, everybody, keep painting, keep safe, which I guess if you're in the UK is going to be fairly easy to do because we're in lockdown now. But it might be a bit trickier to keep sane. I'm going to try and do that by just painting and painting and painting. So, bye everybody. See you next time.